Hey guys, it's Archer. I am holding my tripod up just by my hands, so I know it's a little shaky. I'm gonna see if I can like prop it somewhere nicer. Just bear with me. But since we're all in quarantine together, having fun, not really, if you're an extrovert, like myself, I'm gonna bring this little red chair over and prop it up. I just thought that I would update you guys a little bit. Hang on, we're almost there. We're almost there. We're working on it. We're doing it. It's okay. We're fine. You guys good? You feel comfortable? You feel comfortable in this? Okay, good. Hey, there we are. So, I haven't posted a video in, I want to say, over a year. So there's a lot to catch up on. Especially, we've got all this time to get caught up with quarantine going on and everything, and I need to pass the time, so do you guys. Well, what's changed in my life? I don't really know. Oh, I got married. That's right, I got married. My husband and I have now been married for almost 8 months. Yeah, that's where I've been. So, we got married in July, meaning that it was like really, really hot. It wasn't my preference to have like a summer wedding, but it still went well. I had kind of like high hopes that it wouldn't be so bad since our venue was going to be indoors. But our pictures were still outside. It was beautiful. Like the place where we took our pictures was just gorgeous. It was like just like a local garden that like a lot of people like pitched in to do. And like the pictures are gorgeous. I just died in that heat though. I died. But the rest of the wedding was like really, really great. Not super big, pretty small actually. But since then, yeah, I'm not in the same place where all my other videos have been shot. I'm, in a new place. My husband and I moved into an apartment. And, I'm not going to give you a tour or anything because it's literally just a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom. It's not luxurious. It's not like the place to be. But we've been married almost 8 months, and I figured at some point we were going to get pets. Now here's a little secret about me. I've always wanted a cat. I've always wanted a cat. Ever since I was little. Like, I actually like when I was like super itty bitty, like 3 to 5 probably, ages like 3 to 5. I was scared of cats. I was scared because like they weren't as like lovable as a dog. And to me they were kind of more aloof, and they could like turn around and like scratch you or bite you anytime, which is still somewhat true, but as I got older and I started doing my research about, about cats and like just Googling and, reading books even about cats and their temperament, you can read them just like you can read a dog. You just have to read them differently. So that made me want a cat since, like, I don't know, they were very small. They were pretty to look at. They have a lot of, like, personality. I just wanted one. But my father was not a cat person. So every time I would, like, find one at a shelter, I'd be like, oh my gosh, can we get it? And my mom would be like, no. And then I would like show her the cat and like spend time with the cat a little bit, like, look how friendly it is. And it, it probably wouldn't care that much about whether I was petting it or not. My mom would be like, ask your dad. So I would ask him, like, Dad, can we take this cat? He's like, no. He would shut that down pretty quick. So then I made up my mind that whenever I moved out, I would absolutely get a cat as soon as possible. As soon as possible. Whether I was married or single, I was gonna get a cat. So my husband actually turned out to be another dog person, which is fine. Like, dogs were my first love. But everybody else knew that I wanted a cat more than a dog at that point. So I would tell him, like, hey, just so you know, I really want a cat. I know you're a dog person, but would you be open to it? He's like, maybe. And my maid of honor, her speech actually included the fact that I wanted a cat very, very much, which proclaimed it to the rest of our guests. And our guests would be like, so are you gonna get her that cat? our groomsmen were taking bets on like how quickly Jesse would get said cat for me. And he was like, it's gonna be 6 months. It has to be at least like 6 months before I get her a cat. Well, 2 months into marriage, we get not 1, but 2 cats. So after begging and begging and begging for a cat, like, he just kind of broke down and said, okay, we will think about getting a cat sooner than 6 months to a year. We will think about that. But we need to see if we can fit it into the budget. So what I was gonna do the next day after having that talk was go to PetSmart and just look up items for budgeting, like how much food was gonna cost, litter was gonna cost, how much a litter box in general really costs, and, you know, bedding and all that stuff, shampoo for kitties and stuff, just all those things. I was just gonna look it up and like tally it up and see if we could budget for that. I happened to go to the pet store during their adoption day. I don't think I planned that, but maybe somewhere in my, like, somewhere in the back of my head, I knew, like, the cats are gonna be here today. So I look at the cat stuff, like the cat supplies, momentarily before quickly fixing my eyes on all the other cats that were there. And my eyes were immediately attracted to this beautiful little calico. Actually, she's kind of big. She's not fat, she's just like a larger cat. I know people laugh when I say that, like that she's kind of big boned, and she is. She's a big boned cat. I was just immediately taken with this calico because, like, calicos are my favorite. And she was just kind of sitting there. You could tell she didn't want to be there. The lady that was working there said that this was her first PetSmart day, and she hadn't really been out anywhere else beside the shelter since she was surrendered. And she was surrendered because her owner, who was an elderly person, passed away. And that's where she had lived for 8 years of her life. 8 years of her life, and then, you know, her owner dies, and the family members just don't want to take her. So she was surrendered. And the lady asked, so would you like to hold her? You can hold her. And I very confidently told the lady, sure, because if I hold the cat, I'll fall in love with the cat. And they know that you'll fall in love with the cat if you hold the cat. So she plops this big cat in my arms, and I sit down with her, and she's so scared. She's so scared that she starts like hiding her face in the crook of my elbow, and if I kind of move my elbow a little bit this way, she would like nudge her head like further into it. And I very quickly just started falling for this cat. So I called my husband. I said, hey, you need to get down here. There's a cat. And he said, okay, I need to finish doing some grocery shopping, but then I will meet you there. I thought that it would be like 15 minutes. It turned out he got there like an hour later. So I had a whole hour to like bond with this cat and like have her in my lap. She wouldn't let me put her back in the cage. I tried to pick her up and like put her back in the cage, and she would just like flatten herself against me and be like, you're not putting me back in there. So other people would pass by and they would look at this, Abby, our cat's name is Abby. They would look at Abby and be like, oh, what a pretty cat. Isn't she cute? Oh my goodness. And I would still be holding her, and I would like smile and nod like, yeah, she's so cute. And in my head, I was thinking, don't look at her. Don't touch her. This is my cat. You're not taking my cat. I had already very much claimed her as my cat. So luckily, when my husband showed up, he had it in his head, like, he's like, I'm going to tell her no. I'm going to say that we're not ready yet, that we still need to do the budgeting. I'm going to just gently tell her no. And I go, isn't she cute? Holding her up to him. He's like, mm-hmm. Do you want to hold her? Sure. So I hand Abby over to him, and he holds her, and like the moment that he holds her, he just melts. Like, he's like, oh man. So ever faithful and vigilant, the lady that spoke with me about Abby said, you know, she came with a sister. And we kind of go, huh? And she says, yeah, well, they're not like birth siblings. They didn't come from the same litter, but they were raised in the same household for about 8 years. And, you know, she's over there in the cage if you want to say hi to her. And lo and behold, there was this tabby cat that was like rather petite and small, and she made herself even smaller, and just sat in the very center of her cage. So when people would try to interact with her, they couldn't reach their hands in. Like, you know, people, like, if they really wanted to pet her, could have opened the cage. Like, they encouraged that to, like, really pet them. But she kind of had this, like, upset face. Not only just because, like, she was scared, but naturally Emma, that's the tabby cat, Emma has kind of this flattened face, and she looks grumpy sometimes. So just people looked over her. Tabbies are not usually like the prettiest, like, I know some people like absolutely love tabbies, but tabbies are just the common brown, you know, striped cat. So a lot of people overlook them, especially because Emma was also a senior cat, a lot like Abby, except she's I believe 2 years older than Abby, making her 10 years old. So not a lot of people were paying attention to her. So we look over and Jesse says, "Can I hold that one too?" So he hands Abby back to me, and the lady puts Emma in his hands, and Emma is more scared and more terrified than Abby. She just like wanted to get away, but like in that moment she like huddled up against Jesse for protection. And he said, well, if they were brought in together and they lived together, I guess it makes sense to take both of them. And I was just shocked. Here was my husband about to say no to one cat, and here he is saying yes to 2 cats. So the lady is just ecstatic. She's like, no, you're gonna take both of them? And he's like, I'm thinking about it. She says, well, you know, both of them separately would be $30, but I will give them both to you for $40. So he was like, well, that's a deal. Just a side note about my husband, he cannot resist a deal. And I thought for a minute that he was only saying yes because it was a deal, but he really, he really wanted to take the scared underdog home. And that's who she is. That's our girl. She's still quite shy, and she's still very much like the underdog. But now we have 2 cats. And Abby is who I'm petting every now and then. Oh, hi. Oh my goodness. Let's see if I can move my camera down. Abby! Say hi. Say hi. Abby is our little sassy, angry goose. So here's the thing. She loves to be right next to you, like constantly next to you. But she will not let you pick her up and like hold her in your lap. She will go, she sounds like a mini horse, just the way that she talks to you. She will let you know when you are done petting her. She will like bite and be like, you're done. So we have to just like watch her. We have to watch her body language a little bit more because she's Miss Short Temper Angry Goose. The other is Emma. Let me see. She's got a closet. It's actually my closet that she prefers. I've made a little bedroom for her so that she can make herself at home. But she actually had a bad tooth that we recently had to get rid of because it was just rotten and she couldn't eat. She was in pain, and we're pretty sure that her previous owner just did not take care of that, so we had to take care of it for her. And now she's like so much better. We found out that, you know, about 5 months after having her, she like really opened up and like got out of her shell. She's very sweet. She's very vocal. Like, she's so vocal. And she wants pets just on her own terms. So, you know, she'll be next to you whenever she wants to be. But then afterward, like, she won't bite or anything. She'll just say, okay, I'm done. And then usually go to her closet. Let me see. So Emma, yep. Here she is, I think she's behind the... Yeah! There's a girl. There's a girl. That's her. That's my girl. They're both my girls. And they love us both a lot. Cute little things about Emma is that she will wake you up on the dot, because cats have like this wonderful sense of structure and schedule. Like, they have to have that in order to just feel confident and safe. So Emma will wake Jesse, my husband, up at 6:30 or 7 for breakfast. She will be the one to wake him up and say, meow, meow, like, it's time to eat, let's go. And then she will separately wake me up, like later on. She will wake me up at maybe 8:30 or 9. If I'm sleeping in, she will wake me up, go meow, meow, to make sure that I wake up. A really cute thing about Abby is that she loves to be with you in the bathroom. That's, She will demand pets, like she will nudge open the door and demand pets whenever you're sitting on the toilet. And so we have affectionately named our toilet the petting stool. Because she thinks that's just a place where you sit and pet her more. But she also will stay like very close by whenever you're taking a shower or just taking a soak in the bath. And if you're taking a soak in the bath, she will kind of like hop up and like check on you. So whenever she does that, we kind of, just playfully say, oh, lifeguard on duty. She's kind of our little lifeguard. They both like being outside. I supervise Abby going outside. Emma doesn't like going outside. She just likes being really, really close to the screen door. They both love bird watching. That's like our favorite thing to do, is just let them sit and bird watch. And that's basically been it. That's been the biggest thing that's happened, which is actually pretty big. Getting married, moving somewhere new, and getting two little beings to take care of, which has been really nice. It's, marriage has not come with its, it's come with its challenges. It's not easy. It's not come with, a rule book or a guide, like, on how you're going to be successful. There are definitely books out there and guides to, like, help, but no one's going to give you a manual and say, this is it. This is what's going to make a perfect marriage. And it's definitely a social changer. I'm sure you have either known a person or been the person who has been in the relationship, or known somebody in a relationship who has just fallen off the face of the earth, like fallen out of place. Like they're not really in your social circle as much. And I've certainly known people like that, and so has my husband, and we tried very hard not to be those people, but because it's such a different, like, system of life, it's such a different status, sometimes, you very naturally fall out of, a circle of people. You fall out of, like, a group, just because, they're at a different stage of life. They're in a different season of life than you. And if it happens naturally, make peace with it. My husband and I are still trying to make peace with that. With, understanding that people are at a different, point in life than we are. And our schedules will not always, just mesh perfectly, and they will kind of clash. And that's okay. However, if those people are like super important to you, like how my husband and I have people that are very, very important to us, we just want to be aware of the time on our hands. We first want to make sure that we're taking care of each other and, making sure that our love tanks are full. Love tank being like, everybody has like 5 love languages. Just making sure that those are fulfilled and that the other feels loved and cherished. But after that, make sure that you reach out to the people that you care about. Make sure that you reach out and let that person know that you still care about them and you still want to spend time with them. Because it's very easy to fall into that mindset of, oh, well, this person knows that I care about them. You know, this person knows that, you know, I'm just busy. They know that, you know, my schedule is different now. But some people don't. And even if they do, they need that reminder to feel as special as you truly see them to be. I know it is very easy for me to feel like, you know, yeah, I know that my friends think that, you know, I'm very special and they want to spend time with me, but hearing it and seeing the effort that my friends put into it is just, it's night and day. I feel that, you know, that love and connection. I feel, you know, them trying. So I just want to do the same for myself, and I hope that you guys will do that too, whether you're in a relationship with somebody or not. That got deep. We went from talking about my cats to getting deep. Welcome back to the channel, I guess. I think this is a good place to stop right now. I really hope to create another video just talking about like all the movies and stuff that's come out, you know, recently in the past, gosh, I don't know, like we'll probably span back from like summer to this past winter, and just talk about some films and stuff and what I think, because I like making videos just like quickly discussing multiple videos at a time rather than discussing like one video for one movie for a really long video. I prefer that. So I don't have the poodle here anymore. She's not dead, don't worry, she didn't die. She's, you know, she's just too big. We couldn't take her with us, so she's with my parents. She's actually 14 now. She's 14, which is terrifying because the life expectancy of a standard poodle is 10 to 13 years. So every day I'm just like, oh goodness, she's just got like, oh my goodness, what do we do? Is she going to kick the bucket anytime? And like, she's doing really well for herself. For a 14-year-old lady, she's doing really well. But, you know, she sleeps more. She definitely drinks a lot more. We wonder if she's got diabetes. It's possible. We just haven't seen the doctor about it yet. Her eyesight's kind of going out. She's not really paying much attention anymore. So she trips, she stumbles more, she doesn't listen to you, but she never really did that unless it suited her. But yeah, the dog is still there. And we will try to spend as much time with her as possible. And so with her not being here, I'm going to end the video on a different kind of blackout. Goodbye, guys.